Olivier Libouban here at Lingoport. I would like to present one aspect of lean localization today. Lean localization is for software developers and organizations who want their applications to go global, to be worldwide. So we have three products. One of them is Globalizer to scan the code that developers write. One of them is Localizer, and Localizer helps with the translations of resource files that contain user-facing strings. And finally, Localyzer QA to validate the translations that have been returned with Localizer. Today we're going to focus on Localizer Express, which is one way to deploy Localizer using a GitHub application and make that pretty much immediate for developers. Let me show you what this looks like in the application. In the application, in English, you have 3PO. If I go to Home, Welcome to Rebel Outfitters, and as I change the locale to French, you notice that now it's Bienvenue chez Rebel Outfitters, a 3PO stays 3PO. So how does Localizer Express work? Well, as a developer, as I'm going to modify some of the strings or add strings in the English resource files, like this, string.json, I'm going to modify the first one just to make it easy. So 3PO, I'm going to make it 3PO and then ambassador, which is a great title for 3PO. Here we go. I am going to commit this. So typically you do that from an IDE. Here I'm making a shortcut to make things faster. I now have 3PO ambassador. And what I'm expecting from the system here is to have the translation done pretty much right away. So I'm going to refresh this page. And you notice that now Localizer Express translation has been returned. And so I'm going to click on the French commit just to have a look at what was modified. You see that 3PO was modified in all the languages. German, ambassador is in French here, which is the one that I'm going to look for in the application. And so when the application is redeployed, what I'm expecting now is to have 3PO ambassador in French and 3PO ambassador in English. So this is the French translation that was returned pretty much immediately. So let's have a look here at the application, and let's refresh the application to see if it has been redeployed, and it has been, and you see the translation is ambassadeur in French. So you get, as you redeploy, and on my system I have a webhook to redeploy it immediately. And of course the English is going to be 3PO ambassador, which was what the developer did. So you can see that immediately you get the translation back in the branch where you made the change in English, and you have it in N locales. If I go back here, you notice that it went back in German, Spanish, French, Japanese, and a few other locales here. So what is the magic behind this translation that got returned immediately? As a developer, I just created or updated the files with the strings, and I got the translation right away. What you notice is that those are denoted as a string.json, and it's under each locale like ESSP for Spanish or FRFR for French. So let's look at how we set that up. The first thing that we set up is a GitHub application, and that GitHub application is Localizer Express. And once I have this GitHub application, I can onboard repositories. This is a configuration for the repositories that I'm interested in. So I have, those are under my organization, and I am going to Rebel Outfitters in this instance here. If I click on Rebel Outfitters, here is my configuration. To configure, by the way, if I have templates, I can apply a template and it's going to be done immediately. But here I have an ENUS source locale, which is for English. I have Chinese, French, and so on. And you notice that in the repository, they are denoted with FR and FR. The localizer locale is French, really. So FR, French, and then there are JSON files. You can validate the configuration here, and when you click here, it will tell you exactly which files will be translated with your configuration. Here it's ENUS strings, and it's going to be translated to those items. That's it. Once this is done, every time I am going to update the English, those will be returned for the locales that have been configured. In conclusion, translation can be done really elegantly using Localizer Express as a GitHub application. As one of the possible deployment, we have many other ones. You first, typically in a development cycle, you will first verify the code correctness for internationalization using Globalizer. You will then have Translation Express in this, and finally verify the correctness of the language for the application using Localizer QA. I hope this will help your organization go global at the speed of development. For more information on Lean localization, go to lingoport.com. Thank you.